From where?
California. Okay, anybody
That's
from
pretty
California?
far.
New York.
New York, yeah.
California right here. Yeah.
Anybody over there from the West Coast or around the world? Central Florida, yeah. Where did your helmet get made
Oh
at?
my God. Jeez, I forgot it. I don't remember.
California, maybe?
No, I got it from a gentleman. Yeah, in the States.
In the States, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool that they measure your head and then can make a helmet that'll almost fit you. But you know, the trick about it, everybody says, does it fit? No, part of the deal with that is they have a cast or a mold that they use to make the helmets off of. And if you're the beginning of it, it's great because it's that big. And then each time they make it, it gets smaller and
That's what
smaller,
happened with
which
this
means
one.
you have to become a little more oriental, so you get a lower head. Because then it's little heads. Or for kids. And I got a big fat head, especially when I have a mop on top. So it barely fits right now. I've got a Psycho Ranger helmet too. If you know the Psycho Rangers. I didn't bring it because it's kind of hard to travel with two helmets and eat your pretzels.
He said, "Come on."
But I know that I'm going to a convention in San Antonio in about a month, and I'm going to be having every suit that I've got, the flight suit, the psycho suit, the spandex suit, all the helmets, all the props, all the good stuff. So if you're going to be in San Antonio the first weekend of September, come get you a picture. Yeah.
I got my turbo helmet made by a gentleman out of UK, and he was delivering it a couple of weeks ago, and I think his girlfriend dropped it and broke it. Oh. So I was like, oh. But I was expecting it. I bought another bag for it. I was excited to bring it back, and I didn't get my hands on it. So they're currently working on it again, and it's gonna light up with the lights and everything. So and that one I am gonna be able to wear. That one's gonna be a wearable helmet, so I can't wait for that. Recently, just got the flight suit as well. The black spacesuit. I have those. I've only appeared on the spacesuit in the UK one time. This was a couple of weeks ago. So we're working on the flight suit because we got to do some touches to it. But I have flight and space, and then now I'm going to work on the turbo suit for sure, so we can get out there and have you guys, come out and take some pictures with us.
How awesome is that to have all those different suits? Yeah. I bet you got a deal with them too, didn't you? Special prices?
Sure, yeah, I didn't ask for it, but yeah, they say one price, and by the time they get it, like, you know what, just give me this. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, sure.
I felt like I paid a pretty penny for the Psycho suit, because not just the helmet, but I got the whole suit with it. It was Jay's Cosplay out of Arizona. They were cosplaying it for a while, and they're like, we're gonna retire the suit, we were gonna put it on eBay and ask like over $1,500 for it, because it's used, and I was like, that's a big investment. And they're like, but who else better than the Silver Power Ranger himself? So we'll give you a fat discount with no shipping or something like that. And I was like, oh, well, let's talk. So it was good enough I got it. And it fits. That was a big plus. It didn't have to alter too much, just the legs.
He just wears it before he has lunch, that's all.
Don't eat the day before and no lunch.
Yes. Then we splurge. Any other questions? Who's got a question?
Who was the biggest prankster on set?
Oh man, that's easy.
I was cool, so it wasn't me.
For sure. Selwyn, TJ, always goofing off. Always, like literally before, like seconds before we shot, he would do something crazy just to kind of throw us all off. And of course, Justin, he was 12 years old at the time, he would have a kick.
Not this Justin.
Yeah, not this Justin, the other Justin, Blake, and but yeah, for sure, by far, TJ, and guess what? He's still the biggest jokester. He's funny. I love TJ. He is funny.
Alright, so yeah, I've gotten a chance to talk to a lot of different Power Rangers over different cons, and I always ask how much martial arts or dance or acrobatic background came into play when you auditioned for the role?
I had to learn to do a little bit of hip-hop dance. Nah, no hip-hop. I really can step on your toes when I dance pretty well, but I was lucky enough I actually was taking martial arts right before I even auditioned for the part, and they did ask me if I had any martial arts background, so I didn't lie when I said yes, but they did not make me perform anything. I didn't have to kick any higher than I normally walk, or show anything special, so I got really lucky. But I think some of the other people, had to do a lot of that stuff. Didn't you have to do? Like,
Yeah, I did. We did a lot of stuff. They asked, of course, you have martial arts background. Of course, I said yes. And then
He did dance too. He still does ballet.
Yeah, sure. Okay, that's a different con. But yeah, so a little bit of martial arts. A lot of it on set. It wasn't like a requirement because a lot of it is pretending, right? But we would always like beg the director or to let us do the stunts. We literally had to beg because they always wanted to bring in the stunt guys. The stunt guys were like, "Can we just do it, please?" But yeah, it was cool. Definitely, it added to being a Power Ranger for sure, absolutely. And when we weren't shooting, when we were in hiatus, we used to train with the stuntmen. They were all Japanese, like lethal weapons, and they used to love it because it was like, yeah, we're gonna beat up the Rangers. They used to love it, and they used to beat us up. They would not take it easy on us. They were hardcore. And that was cool.
I was filming the episode with the Ninja Turtles.
I can't answer that. It's before my time.
It was a blast because I grew up with Ninja Turtles. So all of a sudden I had the Ninja Turtles on set working with us. It was really surreal. I was like, is this really freaking happening right now? So it was really, really cool. It was awesome. And we, a lot of the stuff that we shot with them, we shot it in our mega ship. So that was really cool, chasing turtles in very confined space. Was not easy, but it was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was a blast. And they love pizza, those guys. Cool. Great question.
Hey, for Roger, depending on how much you can talk about it, what was it like coming into the show in the middle of Turbo, kind of like going from a side character to a ranger, and being part of the group, replacing all the others?
You want the truth? The honest truth?
Raise your right hand.
Huh? Right? Well, at first, when we came on board, the other Rangers looked at us like, oh, okay, that's our replacement, right? So we weren't getting the best vibe from them at first, right? So, and for us, it was a little nerve-wracking because we had some huge shoes to fill. So we knew we had to kick butt. But it worked out fine. Once we got into the flow of it and we started connecting more with the old cast and relating with them and all that, it just became a lot of fun. So it was really cool shooting those episodes, passing the torch, and it was just a historic moment. I didn't know it was going to be this big, 20 years later, but at the time I knew we had some big shoes to fill, and then we had to do a great job. But I think we pulled it off, right? Yeah.
But you were just a soccer player, before passing the torch.
Right.
So, how far into that did you actually find out that they were making you a ranger? Did you know that?
Well, right off the bat, when we got hired, I knew I was gonna get, once I got hired, I was like, yeah, I'm a ranger on the show. It's just they had to create the storyline to kind of roll me in as a ranger. But yeah, I auditioned for Power Rangers at the time. It was such a phenomenon. It was way bigger than it is now. It was really, really big. They auditioned 50,000 people. They came to Florida, New York, Chicago, California. They did all the big states. I don't think they do that anymore, but they did it with us. And I auditioned 7 different times. 7. I remember that for some reason that number, and I screenshot 3. And by the 7th time, I was like, okay, are they gonna hire me or what? Am I on or not? So it was really cool. And then they hired yellow, green, red, blue, and we still had no idea who Pink was. And they invited us to shows and VIP events without Pink, and then later on we heard that it was Patty. So, but yeah, it was cool. It was definitely an awesome process watching it.
Silver figured out thing either.
And then we got the silver guy involved. Which is really cool. But yeah.
Little story about when they brought me in. Chris always thought that, when he came in, I guess he replaced somebody or something. And when I came in, he thought I was going to replace him.
He did.
So he was all worried, oh my God, this dude's going to take my spot. He didn't realize I just had my own spot as a 6th Ranger. So that was kind of cool. I scared the hell out of him. Scared him very badly. Sorry.
Awesome. Next question.
Are you particularly close 20 years later with any of your fellow cast members? And are there any other cast members from other seasons that you've really got to get to know over the years at conventions and whatnot?
We're really tight. We slept in the same room last night.
Yeah. Once you go silver and black, you never go back.
He had me kind of scared. He messaged me and he's like, "Dude, we've only got one bed. We're cuddling."
I said, well, we might have to spoon tonight.
No.
Freaked out.
I thought he was serious. I was like, "Come on now, I don't want to do that tonight. I'll sleep on the floor if I have to, but no, you said there's 2 beds. Are you kidding me?" He's like, "Okay, I'm kidding." Yeah, he's probably got along with a whole lot of the other Rangers because I'm still really new at this and I live way far away from the rest of them, but I think the one that I've probably got the closest with would be like Jason Vaughn because I've worked with him a few times. Really cool guy.
Yeah, him and I get along obviously very well. Blake has always been one of my closest friends. When we were shooting on set, I know it was an age difference, an age gap, but we were buddies. He's like, so we're still friends now. Selwyn, TJ, and I were like this. He's one of my closest friends to the day. Tracy and I, we get along very, very well. We can hang out, and the only one we don't see that much is Patty. But for the most part, we all get along. I even get along with Chris and everything.
Yeah.
Chris is cool. Yeah. So
We-
this crew right here gets along. Yeah, we all get along pretty well.
I talk trash about them all the time. They don't care.
Yeah, I do it too in front of their face.
Yeah.
They don't mind.
Most people say, "Do you still talk to your old cast?" Yes, I talk to every one of them. I've got either and or phone number, email, social media, something. So yeah, we stay in touch. We're friends.
Yeah.
Question over there?
When you were casted for Turbo, did you know you were going to be in space, like in the next series?
No, you always hanging out on Power Rangers as an actor. You were always wondering, like, okay, is this the last episode we're doing? Is this the last everything we're doing? You're always just ready, like, to get replaced, right? Right? And but no, I had no idea. And then all of a sudden, you're like, okay, you're going to be the Black Ranger now. I'm like, huh? Okay, well, I like black. That works well. And if we were doing a lot of green screen, so if I'm the green guy doing green screen, nobody's going to be able to see me. So it made a lot of sense why they turned me into the Black Ranger.
Are you both going to be in the order?
Oh.
I have not been asked. I've not been asked to be in the order. It would be a great opportunity, sure. But until they actually said, "Hey, do you want to come hang out with us?" Nobody's contacted me on it yet. I think it's halted at the moment right now for some things, so they're gonna, get all their stuff put back together and make it happen, I'm sure. So hopefully, keep your fingers crossed.
There's a possibility some of the Rangers that were on it or had signed on at first are no longer going to participate. Karen, Ashley, and I are really close friends. As a matter of fact, I just parted from the cons for a while because I have a business that I operate also. And I think if I would have been around a little bit more, I'm sure she would have invited me to be part of it. But up until now, it hasn't happened. Who knows? Yeah, who knows?
She didn't invite him because he's got bad breath. Told you I'd give him a hard time.
Next question.
Was it difficult working with the actor who was in the Alpha 5 costume?
I didn't really know it was a number, Alpha 5. I just knew it was Alpha. But it was this really short girl, and she was super sweet.
Very nice.
She actually had, if I remember correctly, a really high-pitched voice. And I got a behind-the-scenes shot. I'm kind of bent over a little bit, if that tells you much. So yeah, she was really cool. I enjoyed her a lot. Do you remember working with her?
Yeah, I remember working with her. Yeah, no problem. Everything was great. She's a super sweet lady.
Super short, dude.
Short, yeah, really nice. And whenever she was not wearing the helmet, I was like, no, put on the helmet. It was just weird. Put it on, please. You're freaking me out. Next question. I think there's a question over here. Okay.
Is there a possibility you guys are going to be in the 25th anniversary season next year?
Huh.
Special season premiere or something or another?
Yeah, for Power Rangers.
There's always a
Super
chance.
Ninjas.
Might be 1 in a million, but there's always a chance. So I'm not going to say no.
Isn't that an episode?
Maybe. I don't know.
I've got called twice, and it just didn't quite work out. There's a process, but yeah, casting called me twice for the first episode, 20-year anniversary episode. Dream on! Woo! And I got called upon recently too, but I think props or costumes that they didn't have at the time, it just didn't work out. So keep getting the calls. Who knows? You
Could be
know?
budget, they're very low.
I know for me, I think they didn't have my spacesuit. So it was that they didn't have the spacesuit. Now I got my own spacesuit. So if
No
they call me, but like, I
excuses.
got a suit. What's up? Just roll.
Yeah, they probably didn't have mine, I wouldn't have fit into the old one at the time, but now I've got mine too, so maybe that'll make it easier.
What do you guys do as Power Rangers? Let me ask you during that, what do you guys do after Power Rangers?
Once it ended,
Like, you guys access the keys to get his own business now. Like, after Power Rangers, you continue acting, you get into different ventures.
I moved home to be a father, and I went back out to California for a couple of months to try to get a little bit of work in order to get on the Screen Actors Guild health insurance plan. Like I said, about to become a father, so I wanted that health insurance plan for the kid. So I went back out a little while and did that. Haven't really done much since then, for the fact that I've been playing dad and I've got a business.
What's your business
I've been
like?
running
Like, not actively,
for
what
a
do you
long
guys-
time, but it's a rent-to-own store. Like I rent appliance, electronics, and furniture. Yeah.
I've always been a businessman. It's just, whether I'm marketing myself or whatever, real estate. I love business.
Goes where his money goes.
Yeah, I love business. I do. So the reason why I run my business right now is so, as you know, producing movies takes a lot of money and capital. I want to start my own production company. That's my main goal. So I figured if I can build a business and then, take care of the money part, then I can run around with a camera all day and make movies and have fun and just do what I love to do, put myself in my own movies, hire my friends, hire you guys. That's my ultimate goal, is to empower people through media, through movies, which is what I love.
Yeah. Help the little ones who want to be a Power Ranger become a Power Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to be a Power Ranger.
Question over here.
Yeah, you guys were close, so was there any romances between the cast?
Oh, we got
Previous
kids,
cast?
man. Shoot, they're gonna kill me for this one.
Other than you guys, was there any other romances?
Back then or last night?
This is aside from the bromance here. Yeah, people don't know this. We don't talk about it a lot, but Tracy and I were dating when we were shooting the show. So I know that she had a love interest with Andros, but Tracy and I were dating for a while. So I was super young and not ready to get married, so that didn't happen. But yeah, I wasn't ready at the time, So, but yeah, we dated. Tracy and I did it for a while.
And he was scared because he thought I was going to steal her as Zane, which didn't work out.
I opened up a can of worms.
I was going to ask something similar to what you did afterwards, and so kind of on top of that, I wanted to ask what your proudest moment has been in life. I assume that was being a father, and so I kind of want to change that question for you as what are your children interested in? I'm a teacher, so I'd like to know what
My kids are freaking geniuses. Like, I don't know how I got so lucky. I'm not stupid, but I'm not that smart, and they are incredibly smart. So
Yeah, how did that happen?
gifted on that one. I don't know, but they're in all these advanced classes. My oldest one's a senior, and he is wanting to go to the academy and be in flight school and stuff. So it's like, that's great. And then my youngest, he's a sophomore. He's always wanted to be a veterinarian. Crazy thing about it, he doesn't want to hurt an animal, so it's like, how are you going to do surgery on an animal if you don't want to hurt an animal? So yeah, anyways, we got one that wants to be a pilot and one that wants to be a veterinarian, and they're super smart, and I love them to pieces.
So for me, it's an ongoing thing. Well, I have kids too, and I'll cover that in a second. But for me, it's an that I know of two. No, just kidding. I have two kids. I have a 14-year-old. They're both going to be 15 and 10 next month. Of course, some of my proudest moments. Most importantly, leading by example right now, because they're still watching Daddy. So that's an ongoing thing of just doing the right thing always. And I'm really proud of them. They're excellent kids. My son, not just because he's my son, but he's one of the most loving kids around. He's such an amazing, he should be a Power Ranger. He has all the principles for a Power Ranger. And then also, what I meant to say as an ongoing thing for me is, for me, when I meet the young kids, fans, and they come up to me and they're so freaked out and they're like, oh my God, like they have no idea what that does for me. To me, it's like a very proud moment. Anytime I can bring a smile on a young kid's face, it's like a big deal for me, for sure. I feed off of that all the time.
So as an actor, I think every actor, hopes to book a role that's going to be as iconic as, a Power Ranger or some big franchise. So being part of such a worldwide, huge franchise, I just want to know how being part of that has changed your life and just the impact it had on your lives individually.
That's like a speechless moment. I mean, how do you even answer that? It's if I wasn't a Power Ranger, what would I be today? Yeah. I'd be a dad, which is just as cool as, but it's like being a dad to your kids versus being a dad to all the kids, around the world. So it's like they all look up to you and they come and they tell you those happy moments that you've done for them. But the funny thing about it is, kids or kids, we got 30-plus-year-old people coming up to us, which are still kids to me because I'm kind of old. But we've had an impact on different generations of life, and I just say it's a blessing. And is it hard for me to say I did that, or was it the directors who wrote out the script for it? Because I always say that I didn't really act as Zane. I was just me, and that was my character, which was kind of cool. So I didn't have to really act. I'm not a good actor. But it's cool just to know that you've touched somebody's life and helped them out through a hard time, because there's so many stories about you've helped me here and you've helped me there. Yeah.
That's what I was going to say too. Now some of the fans that are a little older now, right, and they grew up watching this, and whenever they come up to me or they message me and, oh my God, Roger, because of you, I'm a teacher now and I do this, or because of you, I'm a martial arts, instructor now, and I accomplished this goal and that goal. That's like you said, a blessing. That's really cool. I love when I hear that. I can't really understand it, like really me, like what did I do?
Really?
But it's really cool. It's a blessing.
Cool. In addition to that, like as an actor, you go on a lot of castings for like different things. Some you get, some you don't. Are there any commercials or things that you've done before you booked Power Rangers that you can remember?
Did I do other acting stuff before Science Power Rangers?
Yeah, anything on TV, commercials?
The first. Before I moved to California, I was in Oklahoma and I was doing print work for like newspapers and stuff like that. And then California, my first actual job was for Applebee's as a commercial. I did a lot of print work, some catwalk work, modeling, some lookalike work as somebody named Brad. Pleasantville, the movie Pleasantville, Joan Allen, Jeff Daniels, Reese Witherspoon. So it's like I got to sit down with Reese Witherspoon and go back and forth lines with her and eat lunch and everything. Everybody says, well, did you meet the rest of the cast? No, I didn't get to meet the rest of the people in Pleasantville, but I heard Don Knotts' voice, and as a kid growing up listening to him, I was, holy cow, that's Don Knotts, I hear him, where is he? I want to go see him, But I didn't get to see him. So Reese Witherspoon was the only one that I actually met while I was there. That was really cool. So I did some other stuff. Cover of Teen Magazine, in case you watch Teen Magazine.
Yeah, I started doing print work. I was with LA Models for a while, so I was doing a lot of runway shows and photo stuff and covers and Mervyn's ads and JCPenney and all this stuff. And then the talent department wanted to meet me at LA Models. I'm like, sure, okay, great. And then the commercial starts. I did tons of commercials before Power Rangers, and then after Power Rangers, I did some movies, a bunch of movies. I did a photo shoot. What's Justin Timberlake's wife? What's her name? Jessica Biel. Yeah, I would never forget. I did a photo shoot with her. She was 16 years old for somewhere in Europe. And later on, I said, wait a minute, that's the gal I did a photo shoot with. So I did a lot of pretty cool stuff before and after Power Rangers.
You still have a lot of it?
I'm sorry?
You ever go back and watch old footage?
Sometimes I get tagged with stuff on social media and I'll watch it, like 6 Feet Under stuff or the movies and stuff that I've done. But not necessarily go back, sit there and watch it. I have not done that up until now. But it's not over. We're going to do more movies for sure. Absolutely. This is what I always say. I don't care if I'm 95 years old or 30-something or 40, whatever. I'm always going to be part of this business and striving to be an actor.
What's that young, the ladies that won the Academy Award for the Titanic movie? How old was she? 80-something years old? Remember her? Remember that? You guys know that? Yeah, well anyways, look at her. That's an example. So it doesn't matter like what age, just don't stop, don't quit, keep going. Keep swinging the bat at whatever you're doing.
It's hard to go back and watch something that you've done, because then you're going to criticize it, and you're like, no, I sounded so funny.
I used to not like watching dailies for Power Rangers. I was like, that's weird. I look weird. I would not watch them, seriously.
You probably have to explain what dailies are.
Oh, sorry. So we would go shoot to the daily shots, and then we go sit there and watch the dailies, and then they would edit them, put them together, and all that. But I couldn't watch myself at first. I found it really strange. Yes, ma'am.
Did you guys ever have to work with like harnesses and pulleys for special effects, and if so,
Harnesses?
like for special effects, so like doing like jumps or flying through the air?
It wasn't that much. We didn't have that high of a budget to be doing that.
There wasn't a whole lot of green
like, cool,
screens
jump.
doing those kind of things. And then you got to realize that a lot of time when there was this flying action stuff, they're usually in a helmet, which means it wasn't us. They didn't
Not
want
like
us to
get
do
thrown
this.
around by the
Yeah, they didn't really want us doing a lot of those stunts, because if we broke an arm or something, it'd be a little harder
Production
to
stops,
continue.
and then it gets expensive for them. Mm-hmm. And
So
that's
like I said
happened a
earlier,
couple
we
times.
begged to actually do some of our stunts. I only got to do 2 stunts, and one of them was a stunt. It's because there was smoke in the air, and they had to pay me extra because it was a hazard. The other one was right at the end of the Psychos, whenever Chris made me do a flip. I was like, yeah, I want to do that. I mean, I begged. And they're like, okay. I think I got a whole $100 extra to do a flip. Now I can brag about it, I did a flip though.
Just walk in with your suit and just be like, okay, I'm the stunt double, and just like try to play it off.
No, because the stunt guys were like
No, they were
really tiny.
Oh.
So you can tell. That was a big difference.
Big difference.
Oh, I was just curious what your ages were.
My age?
I'm
Yeah,
21.
You guys were talking about, different generations that
What?
follow you guys. I'm just curious. I can compare myself to you guys.
Prehistoric or biodegradable?
No, I mean, I kind of guess I would say 30.
I'm a proud 40 years old. Yeah. So I did this 20 years ago, about 20-something years. I was like 19, 20 years old when I was shooting Power Rangers, playing a high school student. Yeah, so 40, March 27th, 1977. You can send me a birthday present. I wouldn't get mad. Just kidding. Just kidding.
You had a question?
Yeah, I wanted to go back for a second on something you said. You're talking about was it your son that was the 15-year-old?
My daughter's going to be 15. My son's going to be 10.
Because you said that he had all the traits of a Power Ranger. My question would be, talking to those younger generation kids, those 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds now, what do you guys feel are the traits to be a Power Ranger, just a hero in general? What would you define a hero as?
Good example, last time I had to go run my business, whatnot, so I got a family friend to watch Sebastian, my son, that's his name, Sebastian, and his little friend Zoe's there, and there was a couple other little kids and whatnot, and I said, look, here's some money. He goes, make sure when you guys go to eat, like, you take care of him, right? You pay. He's 9 years old. So they go to dinner or whatever, go to lunch, and the bill comes, and he calls her Tita. She goes, Tita, don't worry, I got it. And he takes care of the bill, and he's 9 years old, so that's pretty cool, right? So he opens the doors for the girls, for the ladies, he's very polite, he's so very loving, does great in school, plays soccer, sports. He's just a really good kid. My daughter's amazing too, of course, but my son is just, he's ready. He's ready to be a Power Ranger. You know what I call him? I call him Superman. You're my Superman. And I want him to feel that he's super and that he can conquer anything in life. So I call him Superman. I always call him Superman. And just to instill that in him, you know?
Outgoing, well-rounded, polite, smart. I think people skills is a huge part of it. You can't necessarily have stage fright, so you've got to be able to talk and not be worried about what somebody's going to think about you or make fun of you or laugh at you. I mean, I still get laughed at today. Look at this blonde hair.
It doesn't bother me. It'll grow out, so it's fine. But being polite to anybody and everybody, not being, as everybody knows, the word racist. No racist at all whatsoever.
He doesn't know any of that.
Yeah, that doesn't even exist in the house. So, you've got to be nice to everybody and be smart and helpful.
Teach him how to say I love you. That's a huge one.
Yes or no? Sir.
Mm-hmm.
Question over there? You okay?
What do you feel would have been the most difficult episode for you, either from an acting and emotional standpoint or a logistics standpoint?
Yeah. Well, you go first. Let me think.
The hardest. Yeah, I don't know. That's.
I would have to say the first episode. Just because, once again, nerve-wracking. Oh my God, these guys are legends. Like, are we gonna shoot a couple and then they're gonna fire us or what? Because we suck. Like, we gotta be good.
And if you follow my character, I guess it was really hard to come out of this frostbitten mode straight to kick and tail. So it was a little hard to do, but yeah, that's a hard question.
You just reminded me. No, now you reminded me. One of the tough stuff. Some of the tough episodes were shooting in Death Valley. Were you there?
I didn't go out in Death Valley.
It was 123 degrees or 126 or something like that. Shooting out in Death Valley. That's what they call it, Death Valley. So yeah, that was pretty tough. If you go to Death Valley and you drink water and drink water and you drink water, you would think you would want to go to the restroom. You don't go to the restroom. You're just you're just sweating it all out. It's
Are you talking about the episodes where you were on different planets and they were trying to make it look like it?
Yeah, we were using the salt planes. A lot of commercials get shot over there, car commercials and stuff like that. Yeah,
it was really different planets.
Yeah, it really was. It was KO-35.
It takes a long time to get there too.
Yeah.
That's why we went to NASA to fly off. Did you guys hear about that?
NASA.
NASA. You guys, there was actually I don't know if it was on a cereal box or something about Meet the Power Rangers over at NASA or something. Did anybody ever remember that? I seen that one time. I was like, I never got talked to about this. That would have been cool. You guys
Tracy went.
Somebody was over there.
Tracy went.
Oh yeah,
I think Tracy went.
I have a picture of Tracy in front of a space shuttle.
Yeah, I think it was Tracy. Because we were shooting the Nasada episodes. I think Tracy and Blake maybe. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know, it was 20 years ago. Cool. You guys have some awesome questions. Welcome, you guys. We're going over questions right now. If you guys have questions, raise your hand, and we're going to answer your questions as best as possible.
What was it like being told that the end of the season was supposed to be the franchise finale, later finding out it wasn't going to be?
Find out that it wasn't going to be? I didn't know that it wasn't going to be. To be honest with you, I didn't even know that we were going to be the end of it until people started talking about it really late after, it really mattered. But now to know that the ratings had actually started plummeting and all the writers just basically threw the sink at it and said, we're going to put everything we got into it because it's going to be the end and we're going to make it the best and then it's going to go away and we're going to be in history. Well, that didn't work out. It got really cool and they brought it back. So a lot of people say, hey, in space, save the whole franchise. So Saban, you're welcome.
Right, exactly. We know that, and people talk about it. If it wasn't for space, we wouldn't be here with even the latest movie. So if it wasn't for space and you guys, because you guys made it what it is today, the fans. But yeah, it was on its way out, and we kind of knew that. We were ready at any moment. This thing might end at any moment. That's the way I was operating. I was operating like, at any moment this could end. So let's just, all in. You know what I mean? And luckily, yeah, that's what happened. Space and you guys saved the series, the franchise, and now it's here because of you guys and space. So that was really cool. Mm-hmm.
Just think of all those actors after us that wouldn't have had a job.
Yep.
They should thank you.
Or Saban making billions.
Question, buddy?
I was wondering, I don't know if this was already asked, but how did you guys get into Power Rangers?
When Power Rangers was going to be having a new Power Ranger, they send out an audition to, or I guess a casting call, whatever. They send it off to the agent saying, hey, we're looking for this look or this type or whatever. So my
my agency got the breakdown, and then they're like, hey, Justin fills this spot, let's send him out on an audition. So you go to the audition, or what we call a cattle call, because there's thousands of people there, and you audition for it, and if they like you enough, they'll bring you back again, depending on how many times they're going to bring you back.
Callbacks.
Narrows it down to callbacks. After so many callbacks, if it's like a SAG project, you actually start getting paid. But then you get down to the final two, and you're gonna like actually do an audition with one of the other castmates or something. I remember my actual final audition was at the top of the Savon, skyscraper with him in his office. And I remember the last thing he asked when he was looking through my portfolio of pictures, and he sees that blonde hair, and he's like, "You'll bleach your hair, you got the job." And I was like, "Okay."
That was easy.
Yeah. Don't have to do a backflip, like right there? Okay.
That's cool. Yeah, I went through an intensive casting process over and over and over and over till finally I was like, okay, are you gonna hire me or what's the deal? Let's do this. But yeah, it worked out. But it was pretty intense. And not knowing what's happening, and they're pairing you with someone else, and you didn't know who was gonna get hired or not. And then it all worked out.
Yeah, I got really lucky. Right spot at the right time with the right people. So it's a lot of luck.
Mm-hmm.
How tall are you guys?
Shorter every day, I think. 10 and a half was at my max at one time. 5 foot 10 and a half.
5'11". Mm-hmm.
So, you both have kids, right? Teenagers. Do you have an age where you introduce them that, like the Power Rangers, showing them like what you did, or you kind of just like let them find out about it via like Netflix and like, oh, who's the daddy?
My kids more so, I think, found out from their friends than me trying to talk to them about it, or not to say brag or any of that kind of stuff. But after they got into it, I think for the first few months, we had these little moments where we had sat down and watched like several of them at the house, and actually have them on VHS. So that was kind of cool to go back and watch them on VHS. But since then, found out that hey, those things will deteriorate, rot, and turn into nothing. So I had a guy a few years back put them on DVD, but they had already started to go bad. So now the quality that I have is pretty bad. But yeah, we sat down and have little moments where we'd watch a few of them at a time. And now they have their moments of, hey, my dad's a Power Ranger, to sometimes it's like, you gotta go on another convention, really? You gotta go do your hair, really?
I didn't really introduce it to my kids. They kind of just learned it themselves. My daughter's like, oh, your dad's a Power Ranger. Yeah, whatever, that's dad. That's my daughter. And my son's starting to embrace it a lot more, so he starts picking up the pictures from all the cons, and he starts putting on his screensaver, and tagging his friends, and so he's getting a little bit involved now. He blogs on YouTube, so yeah.
Now my oldest one actually today sent me a snap. He's like, hey, can I get some pictures of the con? I was like, yeah. The other day he was like, I thought you were gonna post that picture of us. I was like, cool, do you want me to tag him? He was like, yeah. He likes, I guess he likes the idea of having a lot of followers. So when I tag him, I want some of your followers. I was like, okay. But some of them kind of like bugged me. And I was like, well, I'm sorry, but you asked for it.
I'm planning on bringing them to MorphiCon 2018. They haven't been to a convention yet, or a con, and I'm planning on bringing them to MorphiCon for sure. I'm walking around this place, and like, man, there's so many cool stuff here. I know that for a fact they would appreciate that, so I'm going to bring them around so you guys can meet them. So make sure you come up to MorphiCon 2018 in August. What was that?
Do you ask about it? Or?
MorphiCon?
Yeah.
Every time. Yeah, they hit us up every time. Absolutely.
I haven't been hit yet, or asked, but I would imagine, yeah. I don't think, there's a lot of conventions that maybe we'll call and ask, hey, can maybe we show up at your convention? Because we have to be invited, and it's sometimes you don't get invited because their budget, or they don't have enough space, or whatever the whole reason is. So, a lot of times we'll ask and get a no. But Power Morphicon, I doubt that they're going to tell anybody no, because they're going to take as many as they can, and now this year they're going to be at a new location that's even bigger than where they were at last time.
And Jason Franks is coming.
Yeah, Jason Franks is going to be at that one, so it'll be
epic.
Anybody and everybody that can show up will show up.
Where at?
It is in Anaheim, California in, what, August or something like that, 2018? When they're-
17? Yeah, August 17th to the
And they're
19th.
supposed to be coming out with the Psycho Legacy action figures.
If you answered the question I was going to have, which was if your kids had gone to any conventions with you, and since you answered, have your kids gone to any conventions?
The very first, if you want to call it convention, it was at a comic book store in Oklahoma City, and my oldest one showed up to it for just a little bit, and there was a few people cosplaying, and he was like, "Wow, that's really cool, but oh, Dad, that's really weird." So, if they wanted to go, I would be more than happy to take them, but I'm not ever going to pressure them to go and do anything that they don't want to do. So that's really on them. I know here recently when it comes up conversation, I'm like, hey, there's a chance I might be going to this other country that starts with an A or something like that. When is that? And I tell them, I got school. Yeah.
My brother and I are 10 years apart, and I remember bringing him around at the very beginning, 2009, excuse me, when we started doing conventions, and he picked up fans. By the way, his name's Carlos. I played Carlos on the show. That's his name. So, his name was Carlos. Yeah. So he picked up fans. So then I started going to conventions without him because, you know, he started doing this thing. And everybody's like, where's Carlos? Where's your brother? Where's your brother? Like, bro, you're popular. They're asking for you. So Carlos, my brother, is now, he got inspired because of, you know, his brother and Power Rangers and all that. Now he's a producer. So he produces films and TV shows in Georgia. So it inspired my brothers, which is really cool. So I'm hoping that, you know, like he's saying, I'm not going to push my kids to do something they don't want to do. But if my son or my daughter say, Dad, I want to be an actor, okay, it's on, let's go. You know, we'll help them out.
What's one memory you have of your brother? Like, she's my sister or something I always remember, and there's a nickname I have for a few months there. Okay. But what's something like that you have with your brother that like you always remember that like that form of like
Special bond, connection.
Man, I don't know if I can answer this right now because some kids' presents, but he decided to be bold and come out and do something really courageous, and that moment for me was a big deal because I was there when that happened, and I was like, cool, like I love you, bro, like you're my brother. Yeah, so that was for sure a day that I'll never forget. Next question.
Who flopped the most lines on set?
Who flopped the most lines?
Flopped the most lines.
I think it was Tracy.
I was going to say Chris, but I slept since then. I don't really remember a whole lot.
Or maybe Chris. Yeah.
I know, like, if you watch the end of it, they always have the little outtake reels, the bloopers, and you watch enough of those, you'll see who's always messing up and cracking up. Because like, oh my god, I messed up. But there was a few times that they would mess up and blurt some words that couldn't even be used in yeah. So I mean, we had some fun, of course. You know, it wasn't all work and dole.
We had a lot of fun.
Time for one more question. If anyone else wants to ask one.
What's the degree of like martial arts training that you guys had to like undergo, and like were you guys like into that like before or after the show?
I was lucky and did a little martial arts before I even auditioned for the part. So when they asked me if I had that background, I could say yes. Didn't have to do any, but they asked me.
One of my good friends was a beast in martial arts and karate, and I would always train with him. I didn't, you know, go up to black belt or anything like that, but I was always training and fighting with him and all that. I'm like your local Kimbo Slice. I just get down.
I actually wrestled in high school and wrestled in college. So.
Have you ever gotten into like MMA?
No, I've never gone to one of those. I don't really, I guess this is kind of a role model thing, I don't like fighting, and it just makes me sick to think about it. So fighting is more of a self-defense thing, and not meant to happen. You know, stay away from it. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But wrestling was not a fight, it was just a sport. There was one time that, you know, when I was in college and my peak level of everything that was at somebody's house, and this dude just like tackled me in a recliner for no reason, and I don't know, I kind of blacked out and went crazy on him and tried to like gouge his eyes out and stuff. So they had to get me off him real fast because I went into this wrestling mode. And I flipped back, rolled over, started in on him. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm a lover and a fighter. I love the sport. I just love the sport. I like to. I don't go beating up on people. I do it in the right environment, of course. Like go to the MMA stuff, and you don't win every battle, and that's part of the fun. Sometimes it's good to get your butt kicked. You know what I mean? It happens because you're fighting someone that's better, and iron sharpens iron. So I just love it. Even if you feel like you didn't win on that fight, it's always cool. You just give it up to the other guy, and you bow down, and you say, "Awesome," and then I'll see you on the next one. So I love it. I think it's a great sport. I love UFC. I love watching it. It's just what I love to do. Yeah, it's really cool. I love to do that.
Well, I think the time's up. He's standing up for us, guys.
Well, I'm just coming to let everybody know. Thank you guys so much for coming to the
Yeah,
panel. Let's
you
get one
guys
more round of
all
applause.
amazing questions. Thank you very much. You guys are amazing.